Meaning of the English idiom apples and oranges. Also used like comparing apples and oranges and apples to oranges. Apples and oranges metaphorically refer to objects or persons that are not alike, things that are quite different even though they may fall into the same category. When we say two things are apples and oranges, or that is comparing apples and oranges, we are saying that two things are completely different and it makes no sense to compare them. Usage of idiom. I said before that apples and oranges refer to two things that are quite different even though they may fall into the same category. The reason I said this is because we usually compare things that seem to be alike because they are of the same type or category, but they may have vastly different characteristics, just as apples and oranges do. Apples and oranges are both fruit, but they are completely different from one another, with different colors, taste, and textures. It would make more sense to compare an apple with a pear, for instance, which has a similar texture, than to an orange. However, this is not a rule. Anytime someone compares things that cannot be compared in a meaningful way, you can refer to this comparison as apples and oranges. You should avoid using this idiom to simply describe any two things or any two people that are unalike. This idiom is used when a comparison between two unlike things is being made, not simply to point out that two things are different. For example, here is an incorrect use. Tom and Brady are apples and oranges. They never get along. And here is a more correct use. You are considering both Tom and Brady for this job? They are apples and oranges. They have completely different skill sets and temperaments. If you only want to say that Tom and Brady are very different, and perhaps frequently in conflict, you might say they are like chalk and cheese, or they dance to a different tune, or they are worlds apart. Examples of use. Comparing his new role to his movie career is like comparing apples and oranges. His new role is a TV sitcom. That's totally different. A chain restaurant just opened in the neighborhood and it's taking some of my business. I realize it's apples and oranges, but I wonder if I can learn anything from them. Comparing these two presidents is like comparing apples and oranges. You're considering a BMW and a Honda? That's apples to oranges. Yes, I like fishing, but only in freshwater. I don't enjoy fishing in the ocean as much. It's apples and oranges. Origin of idiom. The earliest known version of this idiom in print appeared in John Ray's collection of Proverbs in 1670 as apples and oysters. Other words and other fruit have been used through the years. The current idiom, apples and oranges, has been used since at least the 1940s.